Howdy, Beefalo Bart here, and welcome. We have video. We should have video. I hope we have video. It looks like we have it. So, this is kind of the after show for the couple of videos that I did earlier. Just want to talk about the channel itself, what I'm doing, where I'm taking it, what I'd like to do with it, and how things are going to be from kind of yesterday on and today on. Getting close to the 1,000 subscriber mark. Yeah, doesn't sound like much for most channels that have, in this kind of stuff that I do, the Unreal Engine 4 stuff, with, 10, 20, 30, 40,000 viewers. I haven't been popular like that because I haven't promoted myself that way. Do I consider myself to be a genius when it comes to Unreal Engine 4? No. I'm a rank amateur. But I don't let things scare me. It's like we were showing in a video earlier. Like this project right here, we did a simple teleport where you could boop and teleport to a new location, but was also showing off one of the other things that I was doing, which was a throwable teleport system like that. I come up with an idea and I'm like, okay, what do I want to do with this? Okay. So, and that's what I do. I come up with things, I create things, I do what I can. I don't claim to be the biggest authority on this stuff, but I get things to work. If somebody wants to learn how to do something, I find that the best way for me to learn how to do it is to teach somebody else how to do it. That makes no sense, but that's kind of how things go. I created my simple multiplayer Steam template, and that's well over a year ago, year and a half ago. And I've upgraded it to 420. It works with 422. It works for pretty much every version of this. You could set it up for pretty much any version of Unreal Engine 4. As an example, let's see here. I don't know if this right here has it or not. I'm assuming that it does. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. So if we go to map, nope, main menu map, and went to here and hit play standalone game. I created the simple multiplayer Steam template as a way for myself and other people to be able to create and play a multiplayer game relatively quickly. You see it has the Steam stuff here. Shows username and avatar in upper right hand corner. You have to have Steam running in the background for it to work correctly. And for anybody who wants to join your game, or if you want to join their game, all the players that are in that particular battle or match or whatever, they need to be in the same Steam region. And you can change your Steam region. It's really easy to do. Go to what have you. So I'm playing Hitman 2. You go to Steam, settings, go to downloads, and right here, download region. If you change that download region, you have a large list of places where you can change it to. For example, the one that I use is United States and Charlotte, or sometimes I'll use Atlanta. But you can actually, if everybody that's joining that match needs to be in the same download region, that was meant just to be simple and to allow people to have the lowest possible ping when joining a battle. So whoever hosts the battle, if somebody's joining, you're pretty well sure they're going to have a decent ping and everything's going to work out. I have kept my Steam region where it is right here in Charlotte, North Carolina. I live in South Carolina, but I've had people that were in Germany, Indonesia, other countries all around the world who have changed their Steam region that way and had relatively decent pings, even with my crappy internet. So you can actually go into single player, and just by clicking single player, and it goes into the lobby map, and there you go. Hit escape, go back to the main menu, or you can hit resume game. You can find matches. Click on Find Lobby. It'll search, and if there's any of them available, they'll show up here. And there'll be a join button, the name of the server, and a ping. The ping is not going to be accurate because this is using a developer Steam app ID, which is universal. So the ping is not going to report back correctly. I should keep it removed. But if you want to host a battle, go in here, put whatever you want for your name, and hit make, and it will make that for you. So now when other people want to join you, they can just find that. It's a very simple, very easy to use system, and it works. About the main menu and exit game. So it works. Does a good job. I've currently not got it set up to go to my test map. If I want to change the map that I want it to go to whenever I start, I go into my widgets folder under UI, and I go to the main menu widget, go to the graph, and inside you'll have make server button. Just zoom in, and where it says lobby map, just change that out to whatever map you want. I want mine to be test map, so I can click on it a couple times till it turns blue, or I can hit F2, Control C, so I can copy it, and then click here, Control V, scroll to the right for a single player button, Control V, and compile, save, close. And now whenever I hit play, it loads up and it'll use the new map. You'll still come up to the main menu before it switches out, but it's a simple system. Multiplayer, host, make, and there we go. And it wakes. Alright, so that's cool. I will still make this available. I have been selling it for $20 just so I can try to earn a few extra bucks here and there. That does help me. It allows me to do things. I'm going to soon have to replace this chair because the two of the wheels keep falling out. It's not rated for a fat boy like me. So, yeah. Nonetheless, I can probably doctor it up for a little bit longer. No big deal. But for the channel, since I am coming up on 1,000 subscribers, with the change in YouTube's policy, YouTube says now you have to have over 1,000 subscribers and a certain amount of view time. Now, I'm close to the 1,000 subscriber mark, and I'm really close to the view time. And the way that I'm going to get my view times up to where it's in the acceptable range is videos that are tutorial videos are going to be short, concise, 10, 15, 20 minutes. I'm going to get in, I'm going to show exactly what needs to be done, and get out. Videos like this might be longer, they might be shorter. I mean, they might be 3 hours long. If people jump in and they're asking questions, I'm going to be here. If nobody's asking questions, then I'm just going to mosey on along. There's other things that I could be doing. I'm old. I can sleep. Whenever they change their monetization policy for YouTube, if you have less than 1,000 subscribers and less than a certain amount of view time, then you're no longer able to monetize your videos through YouTube. So I turned off the switch for monetization. If I'm not going to profit from monetization of the videos, nobody else is going to get profit from my work. Work being used loosely here. But why should somebody else be able to put an ad in my videos if I'm not going to make any money from it? So I turned off monetization completely so that wouldn't happen. However, once I do reach that mark, what I'm planning on doing is turning monetization back on. However, I hate ads. You hate ads. Everybody hates ads. Nobody likes them. Except for the people who make the damn things. But there are ways that I can set up options to be able to position them where I want them. And if at all possible, I'm going to put them at only at the end of the video, if possible. If not, then only at the beginning. I don't really have control of what ads go in. I do apologize for that. There's just nothing I can do about it. But what I plan on doing is making it as least obtrusive as possible, so that less suffering for everybody else. You don't have to deal with it. On the end of my videos, I always say thanks for watching. So when you hear thanks for watching and we'll see you next time, you know that there's going to be an ad right after that, more than likely, depending on how I set it up. So whatever, you can let the ad play or click off of it. I don't know what I was doing with this. But yeah, I'll try to do it as least obtrusive as possible. No, just screwing around with that house. So that, you know, it's not really going to interfere with a lot of stuff. That's not what I wanted. So yeah, I will be doing ads again. That's so that I can generate a little bit of revenue. I will be reviewing asset packs. I reviewed some from John Galt, a lot of Cindy Studio stuff, and for the most part, if you want your asset pack reviewed by my channel, then you supply it to me free. I'm not going to buy it and then review it. If I've got to buy it, I'm not going to give it a review. For anything that's free in the marketplace, this month there's 10 things free in the marketplace. I'm going to be 100% honest about what I think about them. This is one of them. I did a review and another video that ended up coming out black, and there was no video on it. Probably not going to remake it because I really didn't like the asset pack. And yes, I understand it's free, and there are some things that you could potentially get out of it. I think that if you had to pay for it, I don't think I would pay for it. But if it was free, then yeah, no problem. This one has a lot of little bugs in it. And the review that I did for it... Oh, excuse me. Pardon me. I'm so sorry. Yeah. I think being honest is the best way to go about things. Sorry, am I disturbing you? You just sit there tapping your fingers on a laptop. Oh, hello. Just like chilling there asleep. Sorry. Oh, nobody in the bathtub. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep reviews honest. And if I review something, I'm not going to pay for it. Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. And honestly, I'm not really working on any major projects for myself right now. I really can't. And I don't have the patience to work on a project right now. I've got projects that I want to get finished and get done. But yeah, they're falling behind right now. And you see all these things that I've got here. These are, I've deleted a bunch, and I keep deleting things left and right, just because I don't need them anymore. Teleporters, we don't need you anymore. So I'll probably keep that one just so I can kind of screw around with it. That's the health bar we did earlier. If anybody has questions, jump in and ask them now. I was messing around with the fireworks asset pack, and I did one thing with it, and then I kind of quit messing with it. It's good. I like it. I like the fireworks. I just don't remember what the hell I put it in. But merchandise. I briefly showed in a video a little while ago while this is loading here, I personally did buy the mouse pad, the Beefalo Bart mouse pad, and this is the gel version, and it has the insert is removable, so you can wash it and then put it back in. I generally wash. I'm sure you probably get away with putting it in the washing machine, but the way that I wash mouse pads is I go to the kitchen sink, run some really warm water, and I just use a scrub brush, clean them up real good, and then set them out to dry. So, talking about the swag, I can get direct links to these back into Discord, and we'll put something directly in there for like a swag channel to have direct links and images of these things. The gel mouse pad, $15.40. And what you see is what you get. It's pretty decent size. The gel is firm but not bad. Videos don't show, the images don't show a whole lot, but you can see the mouse pad portion rests down inside a form-fit recessed area there, and so you can just peel that right off and clean it, let it dry. Being it's a thin surface, it doesn't take very long for it to dry, so that's pretty cool. Working on some shirts as well. But let's look at the other mouse pad, which is just a regular rectangular mouse pad. It's the same image. It's a black background, full color, actual white. It's not actually, it's a printed white instead of a transparent section over a white base. So these are actual printed colors, and it looks pretty good. Dimensions 9¼ inches by 7¾ inches. Full color print. It's dust and stain resistant cloth cover. These are decent mouse pads. They're printed in California. And this one's $14.90. So don't make much money off of these, but they're worth getting. They help support the channel, and they look pretty cool. The shirt, primary one, this was a polo. I'm going to do some more t-shirts and some other shirts to go along with it. I just need to sit down and spend some time with it. But it's got the Beefalo logo on the lapel area right here. I'll probably get some other ones that look a little nicer. This was just the first one that I put together. It's $30. But some of the brands that I can actually use include Nike and some others. So they're name brand shirts. They're not some weird off-brand garbage. These are decent brand shirts and decent quality apparel. And that's the reason why I chose Zazzle. I was using other print companies, and some of them they wouldn't tell you where the shirts were coming from, the materials and that kind of stuff. So I've been using Zazzle for a while. I've got other stores as well, but yeah, this is the primary one that I'm going to be using. Nothing on the back. It's just that on the front. But I'll come up with some other shirt. If anybody else wants to submit ideas for shirts, let me know. But yeah, we'll go from there. So you can see like A-shirts, T-shirts. Can pretty much put it on just about anything. iPhone cases. Can do logos for your iPhone 7 and 8, iPhone X, 6, 6S. I don't use Apple products, nor will I ever, so that doesn't do anything for me. But mouse pads, keyboards. There is a keyboard. Know nothing about it. It's $50, and it's a direct overlay print. But if you do go onto the Zazzle website and you see something that you might want that you can use to help support me on the channel, okay, I'd like some golf balls with the Beefalo Bart logo on it. Then okay, no problem. I'll get you some golf balls. Signs. You got a newborn kid. You want a bib with the Beefalo Bart logo on it? No problem. We'll set you up with a bib. Now, being that I am coming up on 1,000 subscribers and coming up with, the ability to remonetize my YouTube account and be able to start making money again, what I want to do is, let's drag this off here, and whenever I hit that mark, and we'll start with the 1,000 subscriber mark. Go to my channel. Hey, it says I'm live right now. How about that? 945 subscribers. So we're not far away from that magic 1,000 mark. So once we get to the 1,000, learn how to speak, subscriber mark, what I would like to do is give away either one of those two mouse pads. Whoever we pick as the winner will be offered the choice. Hey, I want to use this one, or I want to use that one. Or if we'll come up with another product if you want something else or whatever. We can do a giveaway for the 1,000 subscriber mark, and the money will be coming directly out of my pocket. So, yeah, we'll shoot for that. But it's going to take more subscribers. If you're watching and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I got to get over that 1,000 subscriber mark so that I can start getting monetized again. I'm going to start going through, and I'll spend a day or so here and there to fix my playlist and make sure that everything is in a playlist of one form or another. If you want to see reviews on any of the other games, or specifically the one that I've been doing already, like Division 2, World of Tanks, World of Warships, World of Warplanes, whatever, let me know on that as well. Video-wise, yeah, I have a couple. So if you scroll through, there is a bunch of videos here on my video list. But we'll let that go. And so what I'll do here in just a few minutes is I'll go ahead and set up a direct link to the current products that I have available in my current store, which is the 2 mouse pads and that shirt. So the 2 mouse pads will probably be the most desirable for people for right now. But if you have some other ideas or whatever, I can come up with products-wise to put them on a swag page. Let me know. I'll put them up there. We'll get them rolling. But I do want to thank everybody for checking out the videos. Again, do subscribe, leave comments, watch the video from start to finish. I'm not saying do anything weird or underhanded or whatever. I just want to get my view rate up. Paragon characters. Yeah, I keep going into the Paragon characters, and every time I go into them, I just want to vomit. The Paragon characters, they were so poorly optimized. And if you go in there, the best way to do them is to go in and just rip their guts out. Rip out the, they've got all their animations and everything else. Just close the Epic Launcher here. And I've got all of them in here. And I've dumped the local content from them because some of them were over a gigabyte for one character. I'm like, seriously. I mean, if you look like, I will try to get back into one of them, and I'll just pick one and see what I can come up with. But we tried to do one as a Christmas thing for a video. The animations are not horrible. They're all good animations. So I'm assuming that probably if you're just wanting to rip the animations, hell, use Cindy Studios characters with the animations. Because I started to do that as well. So what I might do is, see, the thing is, they have all of their fingers. They have full hands. And City Studios don't. But I like to map everything back to the default UE4 mannequin skeleton And the skeletons from the Paragon characters have a bunch of extra little things on there. Uh, so you've got to go through and kind of pick and choose. So you can retarget, and I would say just retarget the animations over to uh, the standard UE4 mannequin, and then dump any Paragon files you've got in that project, and make sure that they all work smoothly with UE4 mannequin, with humanoid rig, and try to clean up the thing as good as possible. And what I may try to do is, by this weekend, get the courage to download one of them. Which one in particular would be of interest to you? I'm not going to do all of them, because, I know Shinbi was one of the most complete ones. She had more set up with the animation montages and things of that nature for all the different abilities that she has. I was kind of messing around with what the hell was his name? What howitzer? It was the one with the gun, the big pistol or two pistols or whatever. What the hell was his name? Revenant? Yeah, this guy. The things dangling down from the pistol. And I was messing around with him a little bit, and it wasn't too bad. And I was also doing one of the other ones. It was some Grinch-looking guy with the Murdoch. That's another good one too. No, dumbass, go back to the library. Murdoch. That, I think, was actually one of the first ones besides Shinbi that I was working on was Murdoch. But I've also looked at Quang, the Minions. Yes, he's got a big gun there. Yeah, different outfits. It's like a monster version of him. He goes from a black guy to an alien. That's kind of cool. I like that one. Definite sci-fi feel to it. I don't know. I could pull Murdoch out or one of them and check on the animations. Because the fact that these are here and they're free, and as long as you're using them in an Unreal Engine 4 based product, then you can use them in any project you want to use them in. So that's cool as hell. If I hit add a project, then it's going to take me an eon to download it. But it's scaled to Epic Skeleton. It's rigged to Epic Skeleton. So yes, for the most part, being able to set it up and use these 207 animations, it's doable. But you also have to figure out what else you're going to be doing with these guys. Number of sound cues, 110. Yikes. But I do like the look of the character. I mean, I like that one in particular. It's got kind of a space trooper kind of vibe to it, you know? Oh, that's cool. So to be able to actually use the... and I thought about going through and getting someone to help with, because it's a lot of work to do, to go through all the different available characters and fix all the animations to where they work on the UE4 mannequin skeleton. I mean, get all of them, and I've asked people to help me with this before and nobody wanted to do it. But if you want to continue to use this character, that's great. But what I wanted to do was get someone to take all of the characters first off and rig them to the standard UE4 mannequin skeleton with no additional sockets or bones or anything else. It's just, when you look at the guy, he is this. He is this character. The trouble runs into is, the skeleton can be done correctly, where you've got all your different joints to be done just like that. You're going to have to go into an external program and do that. It's not my thing. But I also wanted all the animations ripped out and correctly targeted to the uniform mannequin skeleton. So if you want to use these characters, that's great. But if you want to go to the marketplace and select a different character, go to browse characters, and say scroll down and take this guy, post-apocalyptic survival older, or this zombie, or this girl here, or whatever. If you want to grab this guy and he's correctly targeted to UE4 mannequin skeleton, and now this guy could be doing, he's big, burly, manly man, and have him doing Shinbi's little beginning emote where she does a little heart thing, But be able to let any character you want do any of the skills that you want, from, if you want Murdoch to be able to use a skill that Shinbi has, or FaZe to be able to use something that Sevrog could use, or whatever. You could set up the characters to use whatever skill or spell or what have you. You could have, was this Muriel? She could have Murdoch's gun and be going apeshit. I wanted it to be to where they were fully universal between, so that you have that ability to translate between. The characters are just characters. Whatever animation, like say, if you go into the marketplace and you search for animations, and you grab any of these animation packs, whether they're John Galt animations, I like the pedestrian animation pack that I've got, the mocap online stuff, whatever. You get any animation you want from the marketplace, ladders and ledges, or what have you. Get any of these and they will work directly with those characters. I wanted everything so universal so that you're not locked into so much extra work. It's a lot of work in the beginning, but in the end, it works out. I mean, you could go to Free for the Month, and you look, John Galt's got jetpack animation set right here, and did a review on this the other day too. If you wanted, then Shinbi could be using these same animations. So that's what I want, is it to be a universal thing. I can't do all of it myself, and if I could have done that, or had a decent enough team to where they could stay motivated on working on the Paragon assets. My idea for using the Paragon assets before, sorry I keep going out of frame there, was to actually do, like I said, have them to where you could have Clang there running around with whatever weapon you want them to have, whatever spells or abilities or whatever else, primaries, secondaries, whatever abilities you want, could be put on any character, and you could unlock them. Instead of building an exact replica of Paragon, which a lot of you guys know, I didn't play Paragon. It wasn't my thing. I didn't even know what the hell a MOBA was. That's a recent term, is MOBA. It's not something that, growing up through the years, not something that I used as a word, was MOBA, They were just frickin' games. They were arena games, essentially. No different than a capture the flag mode, if you ask me. But with that, I wanted to be able to not make a clone of the game, but take all the characters, use all their abilities, and make essentially Paragon 2.0, which would have been more for the people who like the characters. They like all the abilities, but they don't want to fit to the same guidelines. Countess, you want to be Countess, and you want her to carry a sword that, you know, has whatever ability to it. You know, she has swords here, but what if, you know, she's in this mode and she's white, and now she's using ice-based spells, and red, she's using, you know, bloodlust or whatever, you know. By changing the look of the character, you change the style of the character. Or if you wanted to play, you know, your default character was, we'll say the one on the right here. But you could also say that the gold armor, or this armor here, or this one, or whatever were upgraded armor sets. You had to unlock them along the way just to make something different from the original and try to make the game fun. What, to me, destroys a game is whenever you're sitting there. I like the Division. I like the Division 2. And you got that grind for gear. You're trying to unlock things. But primarily in like Division 2 is a bad instance. You're actually... your gear farming is all you're doing. Is you're farming and farming and farming and trying to find, and I don't know what the hell y'all kids are calling mid-maxing or min-maxing, whatever the hell that means. Essentially, you're trying to find the best gear to suit what you're wanting to do. And, you know, RNG, random number generator, you might get shit gear every time it drops, or you might get lucky. You don't know what you're going to get. But more often than not, the gear that drops is not going to be what you're looking for. So you got to keep grinding and grinding and grinding. To me, that is okay for some games. But for me, if you're going to have something that's like a MOBA where it's like capture the flag, Twin Blast, that was another one I was thinking about. He had 2 guns. I'm going to fix the transformations. Essentially, it's a matter of retargeting the animations. And what happens, and I wish I had these downloaded so I could quickly load them and show you what I'm talking about, is Twin Blast. Where the hell is Twin Blast? Right here. Okay, so Twin Blast, just purely as an example here, he has his gun is socketed here and here, socketed to his hands. You would think that that would be the normal way of doing things. What's happening is they're more or less like permanently attached to his arms. And they're permanently attached to the model. And I don't like the way that they handle everything on that. Yeah, that would be cool. Run around like that in a beach bum. You'd want the guns detachable so that you could holster them, put them away. So, yeah, if you want to take his stuff and use his twin guns on, say, Murdoch or whoever, the trouble you run into is the weapons are attached to the actual main frame of the character. And to get rid of them, you essentially pretty much just about have to rip the model apart to get those off of his hands. One of the things that I was able to do with Shinbi was, and these big ass guns there, her sword. Because of the fact that, you know, she doesn't have a sword in her hand right there, but she's doing that animation. There are plenty of animations for her without the sword in her hand. So it is possible to hide the weapons, but I'm just killing my own brain thinking about it. If you wanted to have Shinbi, I don't know where she would hide them, but draw 2 pistols and use twin blast pistols and animations and use his abilities, then you essentially have to make sure that she has no weapons attached to her hand to begin with. You have to make sure that there's sockets attached for the weapons to attach to. And then you have to make sure that their bones are exactly alike for the main structure You can actually go into, let me go into any project right here. Let's go back into the health bar. There's a couple things you can do when you're trying to get the skeletons to match up. Yeah. It's just weird how they've got everything configured. They were poorly done. They worked whenever they were created for what they were doing, but they're hard to adapt over. Not impossible, but hard to adapt over. If you look at the skeleton tree, and if you look at, let's see, that's fine. If you select the root should always be right there. Pelvis, all these are the normal things, but what you're going to start seeing is like down here, and they're in a different font from the rest of them. These are bold, and then these are normalized. IK foot root, left foot, right foot. You've got all these different other ones that are here, like IK hand gun. Why is it this, and then hit this all the way over here? IK hand L. The left hand is over here, not over here. This is the right hand. Click on this one, it's there, but why the hell is this like that? You know, you're going to find a lot of weird artifacts, and for example, Shinbi, whenever she's doing her little beginning heart emote thing, there's a socket for the particle effect that does a little pink heart whenever she's doing that thing, whenever she first starts off. Hope you know what I'm talking about there. But there's an actual socket that relates to the little particle effect that goes on there. So that whenever she's doing it, it stays with her hands as she's moving around. Don't have a whole lot of animations here. Don't have anything on that map. So it's like when you're doing it, she does her emote. Like I said, the socket is like on the right hand in a certain position so that it draws correctly inside the loop of her hand. So every single solitary emote, there's a particle effect, or there's she throws a sword up into the air, and essentially the sword is a bone on the main body. So it's like, it makes the animations weird to move over. So it's not going to be an easy thing to just jump in there and do. If someone takes the time to do it, yeah, that's awesome for them. But I just think it's a lot of work. They're a lot more work than they were worth. It's one of the main reasons why I switched over to the City Studios assets. It's because there's so much stuff that's in there, and there's so much usable stuff in there. It's like this project right here, Motion. And this one's far from finished. It's something that I need to go back into again. I switched over to the lower poly stuff just simply because you go to low poly and yeah, it doesn't look as nice, doesn't look as realistic. Let's see, where the hell's all my frickin' maps? About losing my mind. Yes, there's a map called Hoth in here. No, I'm not a Star Wars fan. That's not it. Why are you compiling shaders? I don't need your damn shaders. Go away. The more realistic you try to make your game, the more realistic you have to put into it. You'll spend more time on assets and trees and leaves and yeah, we're going to drop frames here and there because of compiling shaders for crap we don't need. Come on, hurry up. pull some max headroom shit here. My head popping all around and stuff. Let's try to compile shaders on a map that I'm trying to unload. So it's going to act weird for a second. Oh, goody. Why are you compiling shaders? You act like this is the first time I've gone into this frickin' thing. How about I just do that? No. You move when I drag you, you shithead. Let's load the damn thing like this. Yeah, there's things you can do with some of the retargeting. Like, I was going to show you before I switched out. Well, okay, we'll look back at the project again. Geometry, no. Mannequin, character, mesh, and the retargeting options. The skeleton tree. You go to options and show retargeting options. Retargeting the root based on the animation. Pelvis, animation. Spine, based on the skeleton. And you have options you can change this to. Sometimes you have to go through here and change them out to different things to be able to get the animations to look correct. Otherwise, they will start doing some weird crap. Like, the arms will get twisted. Or I have actually had some where I retarget them and the spine is bent in half. So the legs are correct this way, but the upper torso is now bent over backwards. Looked like someone folded him in half backwards and shoved his ass in there. So you can go through and change some of these and see, like, if you're having problems with the arm, go into the arm ones and change it from skeleton to animation or whatever. Was in the wrong freaking hard drive. I don't know why. I have killed my Deadpool DVD. Yes, DVD. That's the DVD drive that's in here is probably older than some of my viewers on this channel. Hey, it works. I just keep transferring it from computer to computer to computer. It's probably the third or fourth computer it's been in. It works. I guess the job done. I installed frickin' Windows and no problem. This is what I was looking for. So you might have to tweak those things around a little bit on some of them to try to get that. And I did get some of that to work. We're trying to use other animations on that were from the UE4 mannequin skeleton to work on the Paragon characters. This is a standalone of the game. This is a multiplayer playable. But yeah, it's just so whenever I switched over to the Paragon assets, I don't know why this character does that. It turns blue at first. Switching over to the Paragon characters, is a lot of work. But using the Cindy stuff, there's just so many assets that come with the Cindy packs that was able to just create all kind of stuff. And see up here, the signs are playing video. That video is actually on board, but I've got the video system to where it can actually play YouTube videos or stream videos from online or images from online. Where my rockets at? Here goes one. We got like random missiles or rockets that go off in outer space. Oh. There's one that flies across this way. They go up for a little ways and just disappear. They have a slight spiral to them. They have random spawns. But yes, this is a nightclub. That's why you keep hearing music every time I walk by this. I just fell in love with the Cindy Studios characters. Lighting's a little off on this scene, but dude at the door here. I can join him by dancing. And of course got my hoverboard. So this was just more or less something I was fiddling around with, and it turned into, you don't have to. I mean, if you're using like the my simple multiplayer, for example, whenever you host a game, you are the host. So you don't have a dedicated server. Problem I have with my internet and my router and everything else is I can't, and just haven't spent time working on it, but can't get a direct IP to port forward or anything else to be able to get it to where I could actually run a dedicated server and test it out. So I just haven't. But there is ways of running it as a dedicated server. This method is not. The host is actually the server. So I'm hosting this right here. If you have this particular project from, actually I think I've got this one on, yeah, that place. What the hell? Yeah. Well, I mean, for small number of players, you don't have to run, a dedicated server unless you want a dedicated server to run for 500 players to get on, something like that. But if you're just going to be playing with 2, 3, 4, 10 of your buddies or whatever, then load testing wise, we've had like a dozen people logged into one game on my shit internet, and it wasn't bad. Like I said, I built this multiplayer setup. So hit escape, I can resume game, hit escape, go back to the main menu. When I go back to the main menu, poof, game is ended. Me being the host, everybody who was connected and playing that game, they're toast. They got kicked out because of the way I got everything set up. But if you're a client, if you joined my game, if you hit multiplayer, hit find, and don't see anything, hit find lobby, oh, there's Beefalo Bart's game, I'll hit join, and you join my game, you're connecting to my computer. It's kind of old school in a way, but it's using Steam for information like Steam username and avatar. So whenever I host this, and whatever I put in here, and I hit make, when I click on find, I need to fix that transition there. If you search for lobby, you're going to find whatever I named mine, whatever I hosted it. So, like I said, I built this a year and a half ago, and the shit works. So you are limited to the fact that whenever you create a game, anybody you want to join your game has to be in the same Steam region. And that's, as I mentioned before, it's really easy to change that over. You go in your settings for Steam and change your download region to the same download region of whoever you're trying to connect to. If you're trying to connect to your buddy in Germany, then you can change it over to Berlin. So that's why I was selling this. I made it a year and a half ago. It works for, you can set it up to work pretty much every version of the frickin' Unreal Engine there is. And essentially, it's just going to be the basic menu system to get you into a multiplayer game, and people can join in and play. Let's see here. Scrolling through my hard drive, trying to find some of these other projects that I know are like that. I'd avoid my stash of porn. I mean, my technical archives. If you run the actual just standalone, what you get, like say if you wanted to, so been charging $20 on PayPal for people to get this, and essentially it's this. Whenever it pops up, what you're going to get is this basic black menu. I said this pulls your actual username and Steam username and avatar. You have to have Steam running in the background, or else it won't work. If you don't have it running in the background, it's going to say go connect to Steam dummy. It'll tell you right there what if you're not connected. If you just want to play single player, it's single player. You just go in there and you get this little starter map, and just nothing in here. You walk around in a circle. Hit escape. You can either resume game or go back to the main menu. Multiplayer, host and find capabilities, just like you saw before. Create a game. Hit make. Yay. Now anybody that's got this can log in and play, and you'll see all your buddies running around in this little empty room. Same thing for them trying to join yours. Hit find a game, wait for a couple seconds, hit find lobby, it'll scan again, scans for about 10 seconds. If it doesn't find anything, it'll just stay black like this. There are individual little widgets here, and this main menu widget and everything else. But that's what you get with the that, and you can migrate it to another project, or just create a project based off of this, and go from there. I said I built that a year and a half ago or more. This particular version that I just ran was from September 2018, and that was an updated version. I think that was 420 or 417 or something like that. But I put them in all the try before you buy asset packs I was doing for Cindy Studios. I think he even did it for the survival demo. I need to re-upload this one. But it's a very simple system for setting up multiplayer, for getting people in there, and being able to just play. So if you want, especially for testing, it's a great way to do it because it's using a developer app ID. So until you physically are ready to put it on Steam, your builds are done as a development build so that it'll work. And this was based off of another asset pack that was, I just added my simple multiplayer Steam template to their asset pack. No ammos, so I can go over here, pick up some ammo. Let's pick up a silencer. Oh, that was 9mm ammo, wasn't it? Yep. We need 5.56 ammo. And let's pick up a scope. Go over to inventory. What was my inventory? Right there. And let's actually drag them to right there. Oh, we have it equipped, so let's unequip it. Put it right there. Drag the silencer on top of it, scope on top of it, ammo on top of it, and let's put it back in our inventory. Yeah, to get them to join the game, then they just hit find. Let's see, there was a... This thing had a lot of potential in it here, but difficult to work with for putting in new characters. I was having problems with it. But yeah, all they do is just make sure that they're in the same Steam region, and yeah, no problem. They can just join right in. Oh, can't build without the build tool. Flashlight. We don't need a flashlight. We need... Oh, we're at max weight. So let's drop some ammo. Hell, I can't remember what the hell I'm doing with this. It's been so long since I messed with this damn project. In my simple multiplayer Steam template, it's just is just that. It's just the menu system for getting people to be able to join. So I'll run that one again. So if you get my simple multiplayer Steam template, this is what you get. All the blueprints for this to work correctly. Like I said, if you want to run single player, just hit single player. If you want to be the host, you go in here, hit host, create a name for whatever you want your room to be. I'm just randomly putting in crap. Hit make. Now, I'm in here playing, no problem. Everything is good to go. I am the host, so everything is good to go. Now, if your friend's like, okay, they load the game up on their end, they have Steam running in the background just like you do. They're on the same Steam region as you are. Then all they have to do is hit multiplayer, find, and then it doesn't usually come up immediately, but if you hit find lobby, it will scan for 10 seconds and it'll find anybody who has a lobby available. If you said you want Pharaoh's game, so okay, if that's what you named yours, when you clicked on host and put that information in, they'll see Pharaoh's game. They'll see a button right here that says join. They click on join and poof, they'll join right into your game, and you'll see them, they'll see you. That's all you're getting with this, is that just the basics. You're not getting any other, this is just a third person template, an empty map, and the menu system. But it works. It works right out of the box, and it's bulletproof. That's why, like I said, I've been using it for over a year and a half. It's getting close to 2 years now since I created this. And all I'm doing is just, when you go from different versions of Unreal Engine 4, you have to change a plugin in different locations, but it's nothing to change it between versions. A lot of the other multiplayer setups, you find that you don't have to use Steam. There's a lot of other things you can add in. You can set in max number of players. I could set that up in the hosting options if I wanted to, and change the configuration around in that menu. There's so many things you can do with those plugins, but without those plugins, you're limited on how you can actually get it to work. Let's see if we had another good example here. I've archived so much stuff. I need to follow through with cleaning up this hard drive. I've got one hard drive that is nothing but UE4 stuff. It's a 0.5 terabyte hard drive. There's nothing but UE4 stuff. And it's Skippy the Evil Clown. If he ever shows his ass back up, kick his butt. This was testing out his clown. He wanted me to set up his clown with some animations and stuff. So I just did that. It's in a quick multiplayer so we could run around and see that it works. I don't think I did anything else with it, but yeah. So you see a lot of my projects that I do, I run that. So yeah, that's why I said I'm selling this for $20, and via PayPal, and I said it works. I've built a lot of projects based off of that. I made a clone of it and then just worked on a cloned version of the project. That way I don't mess with the original files. I think this one, I think I used one of the Mocap Online assets for this. The multiplayer part, you can shoot each other, but the bots aren't part of it. And they don't like the fact that you can't look at each other, and Start off with lever action and a 6-shooter. There's should have had to head and go into some of the buildings, and there was health pickups and ammo pickups, and there's a health pickup, ammo pickup. The safe, you can run over to it and like one, change your primary weapon, which is still the 1873. Two, okay. There you go. With setting up a few different weapons, like you get sawed-off shotgun there. But yeah, I mean, I just use the hell out of the same thing for this project. This actually right here was not bad. That one, I think I had another project off of that one as well. Yeah, I've sold probably about, I don't know, a dozen or more copies of it. I did have it on, yeah, get them doing shimby emotes. And that's the thing, is if you get the animations targeted correctly, I swear I thought I exported some of her animations, so I'd have them on my hard drive so that I could just import them in and try to import them to a different skeleton or whatever else. But that's kind of where I was going with the Paragon stuff, is I wanted them separated and working independently, so that if you were the UE4 mannequin, then you would be able to use any of those animations on any character that you've got. Had problems with this asset pack. Didn't like the way the character walked. Could never remember the frickin' keys. Oh shit, you're gonna kick my ass because I don't remember how to draw my damn sword out. There we go. Yeah, I'm messing with this asset pack here. This wasn't a project I was trying to pull out, but I want to be able to combine stuff like this right here, and then a fireball attack, and whatever. I'm trying to block. Yeah, I got into the whole thing of there for a while. Oh shit, two guys. Get my ass kicked here. I don't know if I got health regen turned on. There we go. Yeah, the big kick was, so many different asset packs that are out there on the marketplace that, oh, well, we could use this asset pack and then do this, this. And then you rip into the guts of that asset pack, and it's like, is this even in English? So much of the stuff is like, what in the hell were they thinking when they made this? It looks great. It works great for what they're doing, but it's so difficult to integrate that what the hell was the point, This one looks great. And when I started changing characters out, I had problems with the skeleton and the animations. And from what I was led to believe, that if you're going to submit an asset pack, and see, there's roll is spacebar and not jump. That to me annoys the crap out of me. I thought that if you're going to submit a animation to the UE4 marketplace, and yes, I'm not drowning and I can't swim, then it had to be exactly the same skeleton as the UE4 mannequin skeleton. It had to use the original UE4 mannequin skeleton. So that's what I thought you had to have if you were going to submit animations. But there's so many different animations that I've looked at in other asset packs that you're getting for the asset pack and not the animations, that there's just so much trouble in trying to get it all to work correctly. But you buy animations, the animations work. Like the pedestrian animation pack, love them. They all work great. Had no problem retargeting any of them and get them to work with City Studios characters, with the UE4 mannequin skeleton. Yeah, and it says it's targeted to the UE4 mannequin skeleton, except for the additional 57 bones that are attached to it. What I say is, and of course they're free, and I understand how they're there and why they're there. To pretty much, flip off the Chinese company they sold Paragon to. But, to me, if they wanted them to be useful to more people, I understand that, hey, you know what? We don't care. We don't need this shit anymore. Here, you can have it. It's pretty much what they've done, is they've just thrown it at us and said, here, you take this shit. We don't care if Chinese guys have it or not. So they're not going to do anything else to make the stuff easier to work with. But if they did it correctly and redid the mannequins, and it would break a lot of stuff. And it was too much effort. Oh no, I got my ass kicked. Twin Blade not free. I got Twin Blade free. I don't even know how to freaking respawn. I mean, Twin Blade was not free. I damn sure wouldn't have paid for any of the Paragon assets myself. And I got Twin Blade, right? Twin Blade. It's Twin Blast. What is Twin Blade? See, you're talking a foreign language there. So it was not in the marketplace? Or was it? Nothing. Is it one word? Twin Blade animation base. You talking about this one right here? Twin Blade animation base. Alright, so looking at the model, it looks like, the weapon socketed to the hand. Don't actually see any of the core stuff here. But these are supposed to be anything when you see animations. This is listed as an animation asset pack. And if you're buying an animation pack, then it is supposed to be conversion anim set. Twin sword to twin blade. Oh, I guess he's breaking it in half and going from that to that. So yeah, he's breaking the dual sword into two swords. Alright, so if you bought this one, then essentially what it's saying, or telling me, by looking at it, is it actually requires you to have this guy. The $30 set is required for you to be able to use this $5 set. 8 transition animations. So all it's going to be doing is giving you the transition animations to go from this guy to this guy. You're only getting the transition between here and there. An animation montage to go from here to there, and I guess from there to there. So you're not actually getting the full animation set. Because to me, that's what it comes across as. Number of animations 16. Animation types. Somebody else tried to add it to Paragon asset. Not working well. Yeah, and so if you went into free for the month and you went to here and got John's animation set, this jetpack animation set, I don't know how, it's 726 animations in here with blend spaces and all the cool shit in here. If you're trying to get the Paragon guys to do the animations correctly, it's essentially probably what you're going to end up having to do is go into, and you're going to have to, and this is what really sucks, and what I was running into with messing with them, is you have to retarget the mesh of your character for every one of those characters you want to have that ability. If you want Twin Blast to have the twin blade, we'll say, then, or Shinbi to have the twin blade asset pack that we just looked at, or to use a gun or whatever else, you're going to have to retarget Shinbi's skeleton to whatever skeleton's doing these animations. You have to make sure that Shinbi is set up as a humanoid rig. So just open a project here. So I know I've got retargeting done in this one. What you're going to end up running into is Shinbi will have to be retargeted to the skeleton of the animation. And then if you want Twin Blast to do it, then Twin Blast has got to be retargeted to that. You're going to have to retarget every one of their skeletons to that. And then you're going to have to create your own animation blueprint for just that portion of the animations. And then when you transition over to that, you have to then say, use this animation blueprint. So let's go into, got so much shit here. Try to find the characters folder. The big one that's highlighted in a freaking orange right here. Dumbass. Yeah, see, you can't go directly to the UE4 mannequin skeleton. You have to go from Shinbi to the animation. So, like, if you're using John's animations, then you're going to have to retarget to that animation blueprint, and it will copy and do all the animations that you need for that. But you're going to have to retarget every one of those characters to another animation blueprint. And you'll have a separate animation blueprint for each of those modes. It's not terrible, it's doable, but it is a pain in the ass to do it for every one of those. Okay, why are you compiling shaders for a damn character? Seriously? So, Glide, like Shinbi had her ability to do, what the hell was that ability where she would slide across the ground and go from point A to point B. It's not a teleport, but it's a transition. View change, damage, scope mode. Shooting. Wow. Okay. So yeah, like you've got your animation class here. Um, I'm using the polygon animation blueprint that I created. Um, you're gonna have to create a whole new animation blueprint for each of those skeletons and everything else. Mixamo is even another weird transition because when you're converting Mixamo animations over to UE4 Mannequin, you're going to have problems with the root. And there's going to be some other issues. They're doable, but then again, they're also going to have their own set of problems. So when you start combining Mixamo animations with Paragon animations, with UE4 Marketplace animations, you got one hell of a nightmare trying to make, and what I call it is just, and I don't mean to sound bad about other people's hard work and stuff, but what I call other people's shit. You try to make other people's shit work, then you're trying to make what somebody made this to work with this thing over here on the left, but you're trying to make it work with something over here on the right, and you're going to have to transition it through something on the middle, or you're going to have to go back and start from scratch and redo the skeleton in Maya or 3D Studio Max or whatever else, and redo the entire skeletal rig, and then the animations have to be redone and fixated so that they work correctly with the let's see, where the hell is a skeleton? Mannequin. When you retarget, you're selecting your rig as humanoid, right? So you can technically, you can right click on it and then create rig. And when you do that, you're creating a rig here. Would you like to add the following bones to the skeleton? And these are all the current bones that are on that current skeleton right there. So you can create a whole new rig. And I'm just going to do this and end up deleting it. UE4 Mannequin Skeleton Rig. I'm going to call it Stupid Ass Rig. Okay, so now whenever I go to retarget, all the bones are all correctly, but whenever I select the rig, I can select my stupid ass rig or select the humanoid rig. So then everything you retarget, it's got to be retargeted to this new rig of your stupid ass rig. It is so confusing to try to explain how everything is broken trying to integrate together that it makes it so difficult. That's why not many people have done it. Because not many people want to spend the time to do it. It's that much of a pain in the ass. And honestly, there's a lot of developers out there who have a really good attention to detail and can go through and just pick through this stuff. Then 90% of the people out there, they just don't want to be bothered with a lot of unnecessary extra work. So you kind of have to pick your battles. If you're going to try to make it work, there's going to be a lot of work involved that might be more work than it's worth. So you kind of have to pick your battles on that and figure out which way you want to go. If you got just that one animation pack, you're probably going to need that $30 pack to go with it also to be able to make it work. If you get something like John's animation pack that's on the marketplace or one of his other ones, what's kind of sucky is the one he's got free on the marketplace is his bigger pack. No, whenever I did like an axe animation, um, I set it up as an animation montage. You play the animation montage, and then whenever it's completed, then it goes into the next thing. What the hell was the project that I was doing? That I was messing with that. And did I already freaking delete it? Was doing some of that in a video. Animation montages. No, I was actually doing it in... Wasn't in this one. It was in... Holy hell. I hope I didn't delete that one. That was one I was actually working on. No, it's, yeah, this one right here. Stream party. When setting up, like, the emote system that I was doing the other day on that video, the emotes are essentially animation montages. And what you're doing is you're creating that animation montage for the axe swing, or drawing a pistol out, or putting the pistol away, drawing out a rifle, putting the rifle away. Each of these animation systems, you do them as a montage, especially if you're going to end up doing it for multiplayer. Let's see what we've got here. Let's just go to this one. So like our guy here, whenever I go to the F key and pull up my menu and sit-ups, this is actually made up of 3 different animations. The first animation being, come on, do all 3 your sit-ups or your push-ups, same thing. The first animation is getting down in position to do the push-ups. The second animation is doing a single push-up. I just cycled it 3 times. And then the third animation is standing back up. So you have 3 animations that are linked together in a single montage, where the middle one, which is actually doing the push-up itself, I just added extras in that. So when you look at the animation, character animation montages. So like a facepalm, that's just a single animation. Just does that and goes back to his regular idle animation. I said the push-up. He does this animation, then does this one 3 times, then does this animation. And it's stupid simple to make an animation montage like that, but whenever you're calling them, let's look at the blueprint. The animation montage itself, you're doing play a montage. You know, you reference to your mesh and the montage you want it to play and so forth. And then once it's completed, you go back to doing whatever else you want it to do. In this case, I have it stop my movement, play the montage, and then allow movement again once the montage is done. It's pretty easy to set up a montage that way. And the montage, when you're creating them, you can get really, really crazy with doing some of your montage stuff too. But if you take like the pedestrian animations, another good animation back. 216 animations. I bought it on sale for like $25. I've already done push up and sit up. But all I did was I picked out one. Let's see. Shoulder carry idle, shoulder carry walk, shoulder set down. Trying to think of some other ones that were like this, where there was multiples. But essentially all I did was, okay, wheelbarrow start. I wouldn't do this one per se. I'll just do it as an example. You got start, idle, walk, and it's 4 actually. But what I'm just going to do is set it up the same way that I've got. Yeah, run them as montages. So like with this one right here, it's just a single animation. It's just doing the wave. That's his default. Hit F and we'll do push-ups. Close the menu. So now I've set that as my default. So that's going to be his default emote animation. But if I want to create an animation montage, I'm going to find the start animation. And I'm going to right click on the start animation and create. Anim Montage. I'm not even going to change the name. I'm just going to drag it over into my montage folder. And move here. And Burrow. I'm not going to save this one, but so that's the wheelbarrow montage, and done that way. And it's just that he's starting it, he's lifting it up. Now I can come in here and search for wheel. So on idle. So I'm just going to drag that over here and just drop it in here. And now you can see it's auto playing. So he's going to reach down, pick it up, and now he's holding it up. Now I want him to put it back down. So I'm going to drag the end one into this same line right above this one right here. And just drop it in. It'll automatically put it at the end of this one. So now whenever I run this montage, he's going to reach down, pick up the wheelbarrow, hold it. Then at the end, he's going to drop it back down and go back to idling. And that's it. I've just created a multi animation montage. There's so much other crap you can do with animation montages, and I suck at it. But you can scroll down and do element timing. We're going to pause it. For an example, I'm old, and if this is me picking up the wheelbarrow, so as he reaches down, grabs a hold of it, his fingers grab tight, starts to pick up, you can create an animation notification. And at this point right here, you can mark it. Now you can call back in this montage and pick up this animation notifier. And you can say that whenever he gets to this point in the animation montage, he's going to play the sound of old man grunting as he's picking up the wheelbarrow. You can do the same thing with an animation montage while he's walking. You can put animation notifiers into the setup like this, and every time you see the foot hit the ground, you can have a puff of dirt come off of his feet, and also play the sound of a footstep. And it's only going to happen whenever the feet hit the ground, where you tell it to put that notification in. It's going to apply those things. So you could put animation notifiers in here. And I need to get back on learning this because it's cool as hell. But you can do that to actually add puffs of dirt or sound effects of the footstep. Or in this case, I could make a notifier of when he's starting to pick up this wheelbarrow, he'll grunt. And then whenever you scroll through, get to the point where he's putting it back down, you can put another sound effect in there, or whatever. There's so many cool ass things you can do with animation montages. I'm just going to hit save and done. Just that quick, we've created a whole animation montage for picking up and holding this. Doesn't have a good place in what I would do with that, because then you'd have to create an animation blueprint for when he's walking, he's doing that animation for the walk with the wheelbarrow or whatever. But for ones like doing the sit-up, it's the start. I put the idle in here 3 times, and then the end. So yeah, once you start screwing with these things and learning what you're doing with them, unlike me, I'm old and I forget shit. I got CRS. CRS stands for can't remember shit. So yeah, once you learn how to do that correctly with these montages, you can do some really cool stuff with animation montages. The other thing also that I did on this one is I created a data folder somewhere right here, and I created a structure. Just right click, blueprints, and structure. And then what I did was, when you go into that, your first one, I give it, this is the salute. I told it what kind of variable or what I want it to be. In this case, it's an animation montage. And then now it lets me come in here and pick the animation montage. And I could stack this structure full of animation montages if I want to have references to call back later on. So now with this salute, the default, which is a wave, push up, face palm, and sit-ups. I now have a structured list of animation montages that I can call up inside of. Excuse me. About time for my meds again. In this case, I called it up in my list here. If you look, got my emote list, and all you have to do is just create a new variable, and whatever you named your structure, whenever you're putting it in there, like say, I'm just going to do a blueprint, just a random blueprint. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. Whenever I create a new variable, emote list, and then when I come over here for the variable type, I called mine emote list. That's what my list is called, or the structure, emote list, and there it is right there. So all I have to do is that. So now whenever I call, you guys get out of here, I call this emote list, get emote list, and then I drag out from there and break emote list. Now I have that full list of these emotes right here, and these are my animation montages. So if I want my character to salute, and I could do play a montage right off of there, and it's going to play the salute montage. Then on completed, do whatever, you know. So that's how you would just call this list back up. So you just plug it into on that effect. Whenever I say press the F key, or press the 9 key, or press the whatever I want to trigger the individual emote. If I go back into my character here, character blueprints. Now, if I want him to do a specific animation, like if I'm doing an attack, as an example, you know, really quickly I can come in here and keyboard 5. I hit 5 on the keyboard. Then what I want to do is I can get this variable, and I'm going to emote list. Same thing I did before. Come in here, type in the name of my structure, emote list. There we go. Compost, save, drag it in here, get and break. Now, with that, whenever I do this, I want to, well, I can do that from here. Play montage, connect that to here. Technically speaking, this will work the way it is. It's not going to stop him, so you'll be able to do this sit-up animation while he's walking around. So all I'd have to do is just, as they're running around here, ooh, you want them to do that, then, oh, sorry, we got to do skeletal mesh. We want to drag our mesh into here. So we want to say what mesh is doing that montage. Run around. You can see I hit the number 5 key and he just starts doing it. But since we didn't tell our character to stop moving, and then whenever he gets done to start moving again, it's just going to play it whenever I press that button. So if that was an attack animation, then, you know, whatever. So that's what I was doing whenever I was working on my own blueprint for Shenbi, as an example. Whenever she did the thing to summon the wolves that ran in a circle around her or whatever, you know, she performs an animation with her arms and her body and everything. So whenever I perform that attack, I hit the number 1 key and it performs said attack. She then does an animation montage of that attack, and it spawns particle effects. And, you know, if you want it to, when you hit the key, like, see, I press E. I'm just telling you to sit in a chair in here, but you can actually run a sequencer node So whenever you press E, you go sequence, and now I can go directly from the key press to here. So keyboard Z. Go directly from my press for my attack. And then from here, I can trigger out my montages. And then from here, I can trigger particle effects and then set up delays and everything else to kind of coordinate the sequence of things if that's the way you were doing it. Kind of get me on a even playing one evening. It's already 11:30. We've been at this for almost 2 hours. Just kind of said I don't want to just like run off and not do anything, but it's time for my medication. I'm starting to get a little bit froggy. But I'll make up a blank example and I'll pull in some attack animations that I've got just laying around, like an axe animation, or I might even just pull out pull Shinbi out and just give her a good workover and see if we can give her some other animations, or take her animations and put them on the UE4 mannequin or something. Just spend a little bit of time screwing with those characters again. They give me headaches, so I'll make sure that I've had a good meal and that kind of stuff. Just definitely keep up with me on Discord as well. If you got questions, just hammer them out right there. And if you guys know me and you catch me in the right mood and you ask me a question and I have time available, I'll stop everything and I'll do a freaking live stream right then and there on what your question was, because somebody else may have the same questions. Yeah, when it comes to that stuff, anything that you've tried, we can try it together. Do it on a live stream, do it on a private call on Discord, whatever. I don't mind helping, but I like to put stuff on YouTube for other people to watch. But so, like I was mentioning earlier in the video about the channel direction and stuff, and just being kind of a multi-after show, just hanging out with people is what this kind of stuff is. The after shows are going to be for exactly what we're doing. Just hammering out issues and thinking about problems and walking through things, goofing off, talking shit, whatever else, just whatever stuff. So we're all golden here, but the direction of the channel is I'm going to do like the teleports. 20-minute video. Get it in, get it out, and quit messing about. I'll do shorter videos that are to the point. If I'm going to show a teleport, I'm going to show you how to do a teleport. If I'm going to do a sliding door or a rotating door. Ugh, God, yeah. You're going to find that a lot in those Paragon characters. Multiple neck bones, or two shoulders for the right shoulder bone, and 3 clavicles or whatever. Yeah, there was just too much shit that made my brain hurt. The videos for how-tos are going to be short and sweet for the most part. 20 minutes, longer if it just needs to be. But for the most part, just get in there and do what I got to do and get the video short so I can get more view time. I want to get more people watching the videos completely so that I get my view time up. I'm almost at the 1,000 subscriber mark. I'm going to re-enable the monetization. But the ads, I'm going to try to get them only at the end of the video. And then again, I'm going to be live streaming 99% of the videos I'm doing anyway. So if you catch it while I'm live streaming, there's going to be no freaking ads. The only time you're going to see ads is if you come in after the fact and watch it after the video's over with. So that way, if you catch it while it's live, you're seeing it. Boom, there we go. Reason why I live stream all the time instead of recording a video and editing and putting in the little intro and the outro and all this stuff is for me to do a 30-minute video and then edit the video to get it into the 30-minute time frame with the intro, the outro, and then get it compiled, compressed, uploaded to YouTube. A 30-minute video turns into 3 hours. In 3 hours time, I can do several, 30-minute videos, taking breaks in between each video. I could do 5-6 videos in that amount of time and get more content out. And if I screw something up, you see me screw something up. I'm not afraid to make mistakes. I do it all the damn time. I'm good at making mistakes. So that's why I like that. I want to get back more into this stuff right here too. This is an actual YouTube video of me. You can actually see this video on YouTube, by the way. My fat ass shooting a real Uzi. That video is here playing, but you back up, the sound attenuation is not as loud here, and now I can't hear it at all. So yeah, that was me shooting an entire box of frickin' ammo through a Uzi. 2 mag loads, 25 round mags. Well, 25 rounds in each mag. So I can split up the box. But going to this room, there's yeah, I was screwed around with this monitor on the other one. This camera right here, or this video screen, is actually showing what's going on in this room over here and that kind of shit. So this is the combat arena. So you see I turned red. There's a camera that's in here that's actually viewing what's going on in this room, and it'll actually display it right there for people to watch. But I want to do some more video stuff. I still have to figure out one more damn thing that I have not figured out, and the frickin' sound engineers and developers at Epic Games and for Unreal and all that stuff, they don't have an answer to my problem either. I talked directly with sound engineers from Epic Games. Hey, thank you for the subscription there, Master Joseph. But yeah, they couldn't give me a friggin' answer on how to do it. And, well, first off, they were telling me that it wasn't possible to be able to add a YouTube video streaming into my game. That I couldn't put a YouTube video in. I'm like, okay, I'll do a live stream and show you that I have it working. But my problem is, I can put the video in, and it, just like you're looking at this video right here, how it's fit perfectly into this monitor. Well, it's not really a monitor, it's just freaking BSP geometry, but how it's nicely laid out in there as a material and everything else, so you can go in there and play. It's there. You can see it. It's one-sided. It's material. Everything works perfectly. Audio's playing, but that is file media source. It's actually in the actual game files. Whenever I do it with a YouTube video, what happens is there's no sound attenuation. And the sound attenuation is a very important thing because as I'm standing right here, if we're, you know, you can hear it really, really loud. I'll stand my character close to it again. But with sound attenuation, I could walk away from it and I don't hear it. But what happens whenever you put in the YouTube video, it's playing, you don't see any of YouTube, you don't see any of the chat or the window. It's perfectly framed, just like you see that video right there could be a YouTube video playing right now. The only trouble is there's no way of setting up sound attenuation whatsoever. The way that I've got this one set up for sound attenuation was screen. I created a sound attenuation for it, no problem. It's a the video is a file media source right there, using a media player and going about this way. I've got videos on this on how to do it, but doing this way is no problem because you're actually creating in the actual component itself. I go to that blueprint, open source, media player, boom, no problem. Yeah, that's it. That's the blueprint. That's the entire blueprint for that screen. Nothing in construction script. And viewport, if you look, you've just got a BSP geometry, which is the static mesh. The plane is what I'm using as the actual screen portion. Didn't have to, but I did it that way. But you have to add in a media sound component, which is then directly linked to your media player. If you don't connect it to the media player, there's no other way of connecting this physical item to have a sound attenuation. So you can see the orange circle is the sound attenuation that's being applied to that. So what happens with the YouTube video, since you can't attach an attenuation rating to it, and you can't add that file media source, or you can't add that that media sound component, without being able to add that in there to work with that individual item. Yes, you can do stereo or surround or mono. Without being able to do that, you now have no sound attenuation. You have no control on where the sound physically plays. So it's going to play that at the 000 location of your map with no attenuation. So if you're right here, it's not going to sound any different than if you're over here. Yeah, that's what that's basically what I've done there. Is I've created actually a render target, like for that camera right there. I mean, you can't see it, but this camera right here is actually creating a render target and displaying on the material that's right here. So that's how you're seeing this right here, is it's displaying that image on this monitor as a render target. Whereas on the other screen over here, this one right here, the material is actually showing a file media source. It's projecting that onto that object material, the material that's attached to the plane. So yeah, that's basically what I've done. It's like other screen. If you look, the plane itself, the material is the video mat, which is right there. It is a material. If I open the material up, there it is. I know it's complicated. There's 2 nodes. And it's using the texture. The texture that it's using is that media texture. Yeah, I've done a couple of videos on doing this stuff. But the thing that I have to figure out is, how can I get a YouTube video streaming with sound attenuation? Y'all fix that problem, and I'll be a happy camper. I can host a video on my website, no problem, and stream it directly from my website directly into the game. No problem whatsoever. Images, videos, sounds, I can have them stored remotely. And whenever you join my game, you're streaming those, or you're actually downloading those from my website every time you go in. Yes, getting the YouTube audio to use sound attenuation. Please figure that one out for me, because I have not been able to. I can't stream. My internet's not that good, so I can't stream me working on a UE4 project while watching inside the project a streaming YouTube video. I can't. Yeah, it just won't work that way. But I believe I do have videos up on doing those and playing around with it. I may make another project. I don't think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one doesn't have it. This is when I was loading the freaking thing earlier, and it was taking forever. This one I had regular videos, but I didn't have a YouTube video. Maps. Test map. Nope. Oh, yeah, that's one of them. This one will probably get the video flagged, because once shaders are compiled here, you'll see what I'm talking about. I've got in here, I got 2 chairs, got another chair right here, got 3 monitors up, speakers, keyboard, that kind of stuff. That center monitor is actually going to play a video. And I'll probably get this video flagged, but whatever. You can see this one has good sound attenuation. I can get on the merry-go-round and just play. But as soon as I start getting close to that computer monitor, in stereo, it's playing Disturbed, Sound of Silence. So I can't really let it play because I'll get flagged for copyright, and some ass clown. I'll get 14 different record companies that'll try to claim this video for copyright. It's amazing. I had on one video, one of the Thriller Challenge videos, 14 different quote-unquote record companies who were trying to claim that video for monetization on a video that has no monetization. And I couldn't contradict it because I'm actually playing Michael Jackson Thriller. So I just let it ride. Didn't lose anything on that video, but you know, the whole point was there was 14 different companies trying to claim my video. Not Michael Jackson, because he's got it dead, but BMG or whoever the hell owns his intellectual property. It wasn't that one company who actually has the legal rights to that song. It wasn't him. It wasn't them. Well, I'm sure they were in there somewhere, but it was 14 different companies trying to claim that as their own property. How the hell is that a thing? I mean, how do you let that go through? Alright, I'm coughing more. I gotta take my medicine. Let this shit compile. It's another project that's half finished, at best. I had some shooters, that were just little small single arena maps that, just goof around things that we would play, talk, kind of shoot at each other while hammering out things we wanted to do for our projects and stuff like that. Just want to show another use of this stuff. And I probably should have just done this. I think it's this map. Instead of waiting for all that crap to load. Alright, so she's dancing. Got a little bit of money coming off. I could dance with her. Or I can do the same thing. Throw money and play music. So tacky. Well, that wasn't the point of what I was coming to this map for. Come on, hurry up. When you're dumb enough to use this emote, you're locked in until it's done. Automated heal system. A medic bot that comes over when you get injured, heals you back up, and he runs away. But yeah, the radio. Hell, I don't remember my damn controls for it. That's what happens when you don't work on a project for a while. 3. Okay. So like this. Play music. So these are royalty-free music here. So you got sound attenuation from that stereo. You walk away and it's working fine. Go next. Go to the next song. And skip again. Well, I have great ideas. I just never get anybody to damn work with me and help finish a damn project. I build these temporary menus and all this cool working shit. Oh, let's pause the music. Oh, you don't want to pause it? You want to play it again? Okay. Resume where it left off. Oh, file a media player. I got an in-game source of music that you can play like you walk over and you're controlling the thing. Let's pause it and exit there. Yeah, some of the chairs systems are still buggy, but why is this chair sit down broken? It wasn't broken before. Come back. You can't catch me. You can't heal me. No, go away, son of a bitch. You're not gonna heal me. Screw you. You can't go over that. I can. Oh shit, gotta go. Ah, shit, he got me. Should be a link in the description of the video. I use TechnoAxe. Bookmark TechnoAxe. Loading a website while streaming a video. Yeah, TechnoAxe royalty-free music. He also has a YouTube channel, because when you actually go to his music and you want to do some dubstep, I don't know what the hell, we'll pull out some, or you want miscellaneous soundtracks, soundscape, comedy, drama, suspense, Halloween, holiday. You pick a theme you want, like soundscape. Whenever you pick out one, you see like these little thumbnails. These are YouTube thumbnails. So I'm just going to click on one and then immediately pause it, so I'm not totally shutting up my friggin' stream. And there's a bunch of them. And buried 6 feet under the snow. Alright. So we'll do that, and it loads this right here. And then you also end up with the ability to keep scrolling through the other ones. You find another one you like, you can just click on it and go to that one. And it's loading a YouTube video, and then you can hit play, and it'll actually play the entire song. And then if you want to get it, you need to do like Creative Commons attribution. You need to put that in your game. So, then you can download iTunes or Wave. If you're going to put them directly in your files, there's two ways of doing it. The Wave file is going to be the largest and most expensive way to do it. What I mean by most expensive, when you go to put assets, audio, music, okay, these are Wave files. They're going to be a larger, they're only going to be 16-bit Wave files. You need to stick to 16-bit Wave files if you're going to do that. But if you're going to do music, I wouldn't do it this way. What you'd want to do is go into it and alright, come on, catch up. Why is my computer being slow? Media. And do file media source. So what you're going to end up doing is like with the other one with the video playing, temp video right there, you add in a file media source. You actually take and go into the folder for your project. So that would be like teleport folder. That's not a good one. Find a project like this is theater. Go into your content folder, and you need to create a folder called movies. Inside that movies folder, you won't see this inside the editor. You won't see this inside Unreal Engine 4. But you create that movies folder, and then you can put your MP3s in here. An MP3 for this is 10 megabytes. The Wave version of this will be 385 megabytes. So if you can use an MP3 at 10 megs versus 385 for the Wave, it's a hell of a lot better way of doing it. So if you're going to put music in, then I suggest doing the file media source method. Go into your file explorer, and yes, I'm using Windows 7. Yeah, I know. Create a folder called movies inside your content folder of your project, and put whatever MP3s you're going to use inside here. Same thing with videos. They're going to be a lot smaller in here than if you tried to do them in an less or uncompressed format. So I've got 7 songs here, and that's 60 megabytes. If those are WAV files, that's probably 2 gigabytes. You know? So you do it that method. That way you've got the file media source and your media player. So now if I look inside my media player, I can see right here, those are all of my songs, and I've created a radio playlist. So you can use your radio playlist, and I don't have a clue where the hell I put my media playlist. Not a damn clue. Audio, attenuations. I don't have a clue where I put it. I'm pretty confident in that too. Would have thought I had it in here. But a playlist is where you create a playlist, and you can actually store all of your songs in there. So when you're actually pulling them back up inside your media player, it's like I can pull up Battle Cat, and I can double click right from my playlist. And there's the thumbnail from the video, but that's the video that's down there. But you can actually play them to make sure they're there and everything. But you create a playlist or by right click, sounds. I thought that's where you did it. Hell, I'm going to have to come back and try it again. Media playlist right there. When you go into it, there's all the available stuff that's in that folder. And now you can actually add things by add to the playlist. I want to add in Battle Cat. I want to add another one. And on this playlist, I want to have Coming Home. I don't want all my music on here. I just want these two in that playlist. And now whenever you're doing it in your media player, I can now use this playlist or this playlist. This radio playlist is only going to have the radio songs that I want to play on the radio. So you can put whatever you want in your media playlist, and you can select that to play through your media player. So, yeah. Again, totally sidetracked on that. That's the key thing that I need to figure out how to do is, and I'm getting out of here, is doing YouTube videos inside the thing. And yeah, shit, I've already closed everything. But there is an HTML5, and that's something different. But there is a plugin that you can use that is an experimental plugin that is in the current versions of Unreal Engine 4 that allows you to add a web interface into a widget blueprint. And you can actually create a widget blueprint, like you pull something up in front of your face and your HUD or whatever, and display something like news. You want to show a news feed from a website. You can pull up that website and have it displayed in your little PDA you can pull up in front of your face or whatever. You can do that. You can pull in web stuff. And I have a specific coding structure that I've kind of hammered through that allows you to embed just a video portion of pardon, this is messy. I was creating different alternatives and variations and whatnot. But essentially it's like this. This is the URL you're putting into the blueprint for the widget. And it's HTTPS and then www.youtube-nocookie.com. So it avoids their cookies for all the other bullshit and whatnot. And then your /embedded. And then / this is the actual YouTube video name. Right there. This is the identifier of the YouTube video. So if you're looking at the link that for a video of yours or mine or whatever on YouTube, you would get something like this. HTTP utu.be/e knob whatever. You'll get something like that. Primarily, that's what you're looking for, and that's what you're going to put in after the /embed, and then a question mark, and then autoplay equals 1. I've found that on some of them requires you adding in a semicolon and encrypted media. But this basic format here pretty much works. So if you input that into the widget blueprint for the prototype widget interface for web interface, if you input that as the URL, it will show whatever you create that material instance to show this, and yeah, the whole train of thought to get all this shit to work. But when you do this, it actually creates that and displays that as the material of just a YouTube video playing, and it will continuously cycle. There's no control over it whatsoever. It will play it till it gets to the end, and then it will just stop. Then, like whenever you're watching a video here on YouTube, and then the video ends, it has all these different other little thumbnails for other videos you can watch. That's going to come up on the screen. But again, there's no sound attenuation. So I'll do another video based on that and experimenting with it. It'll be on a after show probably like this, where it could be an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour show, because there's just going to be a lot of troubleshooting and problem solving on this. Get other other people to come in here in the video and on here. Could even add people on Discord. I have it set up to where if somebody wants to ask a question and they want to come in on voice, what you're saying on Discord, I can have go directly into the YouTube video so everybody can play along in real time. But it's going to be, from the time I say now to the time you hear the word now, is probably going to be a 4 to 6 second delay. So it's a little tricky to coordinate with other people doing that, but we'll mess with it. It has to work. Even though the developers of Unreal Engine 4 say that it can't happen, we'll figure a way of making it happen. Got to have that sound attenuation. The videos work. I know they work. I've done it. But I just have no sound attenuation. I'm trying to be high class. My favorite class. Octagonal shaped shot glass. Or juice glass. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for the new sub. Y'all help me get up to the 1,000 sub mark, and let's get that view time up, and we will see you guys really, really soon. Thanks again.